Hey Shatling, today I'm going to be hosting a tournament of certain tendencies, psychological tendencies, things that some people may be fond of in a certain context. And I'm going to be euphemizing I can't swear yet. I'm going to be heavily euphemizing every single word spoken in this entire video. I'm excited. I'm not picking my nose, I had an itch. Okay, I'm gonna live down here for now. Hopefully you can see these. Let me make it bigger, actually. Remind me to scroll later on so that you can see the whole thing. Okay. So for some reason, even though I did an exponent of 2, it still didn't fit innately. Whatever. So round 1, we only have 2 contenders. We have motherly acts and the displaying of one's acts. I literally have coffee coursing through my veins. Why can I not speak properly? Okay, so this one's actually a super easy matchup because honestly, motherly acts slams the displaying of one's acts like any day. Motherly acts is going straight into round 2. Hell yeah. What the fuck? Oh, do I have to hit confirm? There we go. Okay. Motherly acts slams. So we have our first death, which is the displaying of one's acts. Rest in peace. You will not be missed. Moving on to round 2, we have restriction of movement using ropes or other apparatuses, which is the past tense? I can't speak today. Which is the plural form of apparatus. Mind you, I had to look it up. And motherly acts. See, this one is a more intense matchup. This really tugs at my heartstrings because both of these contenders bring so much to the table. This is really a tough decision, but honestly, I think I'm gonna have to go with restriction of movement using ropes or other apparatuses. It hurts my heart to do so. It hurts my heart to leave motherly acts in the dust, but the voices in my head, they're telling me this is the right answer and it's the one I must choose. Moving on, we have sapio and action. Action sans permission. So these are actually really similar. The only difference between them is the specific flavor, the setting, one could say. I'm actually gonna go with action sans permission just because it's more intense, all right? Like, it's more flavorful, it's more in your face and vibrant, right? This sapio is just another flavor of action sans permission, but it's like more specific. This encompasses sapio, so I feel like it's the natural winner. Okay, moving on, we have costless utilization. Okay, I'm sure you can understand what that is. And red velvet cake. So I don't know why a certain individual from my Discord server recommended that I include red velvet cake, but it's not even a contender in this competition. I don't know what it's doing here. It doesn't belong here. Obviously, costless utilization is going to win this round. Next up, we have playing of the pet subcategory. Wait, should I censor this? Whoa, 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 whoa! No, 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 go back. Whoa, undo, undo. No, 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 no! No, 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 no! Make it stop! Wait, what? How do I undo? Bro, undo! All match results will be reset. I'm redoing it, fuck it. Okay. So, I feel like I should censor this, but I'm kind of just not going to. Anyway, I think that this one wins. I really should have censored that. Ugh, my bad. Oopsies. Playing of the pet subcategory, that one will progress. I know that is very quintessential to the culture of my channel, given that I make videos on being a cat girl. Power imbalance, loves PS. So, obviously I'm gonna go with power imbalance. This is probably the easiest round so far. Yeah, no, fuck it. This is the easiest round so far. If you don't know Spanish, this is an anatomical part called your feet. So, yeah. Power imbalance is slamming. It wasn't even a competition, honestly. Moving on, we have being mean and then feeling ouchy. Oh, wait. These are very similar from a spiritual standpoint. Oh my gosh, wait, this is like... Honestly, I'm gonna go with being mean because it's just more interesting because it's so psychological, whereas this is just physical. Yeah, no, this is more interesting to bounce around my noodle. Yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Okay, moving on. Wait, can you see? Oh shit. My bad. I told you to remind me to scroll down. My gosh, can't believe you. We have restriction of airflow and in a state of slumber. Wait. I'm so stupid, bro. For some reason I thought that Sapio was in a state of slumber. Wait a minute. Oh, it's Somno. Okay, bro. Anyway, so I actually was mistaken on this one, but I don't really care. This is a fine outcome. In a state of slumber, restriction of airflow. This is pretty interesting. Honestly, not a bad matchup. Pretty strong fight coming from both parties, but I think I'm gonna have to go with restriction of airflow. Just because this one, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I mean, to each their own, but not my own. Restriction of airflow is coming out on top. Next up we have be nice and inflict pain. Interesting. Be nice and inflict pain. See, so this one is a little bit different from be mean and feel pain. Wait, no, it's not. It's actually the inverse. So if I use the logic that I used here, then be nice should win. But honestly, my heart is kind of calling out to inflict pain. No, like, I don't even care that I'm going back on the logic that I used previously. My heart is just really calling out to inflict pain. Yeah, no. Inflict pain is our victor in this given round. Moving on to round 3. This is getting exciting. We're down to 8 contestants. Restriction of movement using ropes or other apparatuses, or action sans permission. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is choose the one that is more smile-inducing and less risky, okay? So I'm gonna go with restriction of movement using ropes or other apparatuses. See, now this one can be quite interesting from a scholarly psychological standpoint, but it's also a very touchy subject. So I'm gonna go with the safer option, which is restriction of movement, okay? Okay. Moving on, we have costless utilization and playing of the pet subcategory. I think I'm gonna have to go with costless utilization. And this feels like betrayal because such a large aspect of my channel is catgirling for some reason, but I said what I said. This one's really more interesting to me from a psychological standpoint, you know, as a scholar myself. I may not, you know what they say, coaches never play, all right? So yes, I'm asexual, but also yes, I'm qualified to speak on these subjects. Costless utilization coming out on top. I'm actually qualified. I'm qualified to shit on playing of the pet subcategory simply because I am so familiar with the culture, right? I know what I'm talking about. Moving on, power imbalance and being mean. Okay, so I feel like power imbalance is just such a strong fighter. I couldn't think of a singular one of these options that could easily defeat it. Like, I'm not gonna spoil the ending, who knows what'll happen, but this seems like an obvious smackdown to me. This is just such a strong contender. Where do I go, bro? I'm constantly blocking shit. Okay. Yeah, power imbalance coming out on top for sure. Next up, we have restriction of airflow, inflict pain. Interesting. So this is also somewhat similar in terms of the social and psychological dynamic, but it's different. It's different. This is more intense, I would say. And I feel like you can get more creative with this, but simultaneously, this is like, it's like, oh, my heart's just, it's calling out to me. It's pulling on my heartstrings. I don't know. This is really tough. Honestly, I'm gonna go with ouchie, just because you can get more creative, there's more options. It's a very broad field. Yeah, no, I feel comfortable with that decision. Okay, we're down to 4 contestants. This is getting exciting. Restriction of movement using ropes or other apparatuses, or costless utilization. Okay, what an interesting matchup. So, I wouldn't say these are extremely similar, but they're kind of in the same realm, you know? Ooh my gosh, which one? This is so difficult. They both could involve each other. Yeah, they could go hand in hand. And I don't think this is like a previous situation where one of them is just a subcategory of the other. No. Like, they can exist separately or they can exist together. They're not, I don't know the word. English is hard. So there's no obvious winner here. I think we need to dive deeper. restriction of movement using ropes or other apparatuses, costless utilization. So because we're in such a late round, we're in the semifinals here, I'm really diving deeper into the reasoning behind each ranking. And here it really depends on the individual. It really depends. I'm trying to do this based off of vibes and based off of objectivity, just so you know. This is purely scientific. Honestly, I like how I just said it's purely scientific, but no, fuck it. My heart is absolutely reaching toward number 1, restriction of movement using ropes or other apparatuses. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. It's moving on. We have our first finalist selected. Now time for the second one. Let me move myself. Power imbalance or ouchie? This one seems pretty obvious to me, actually. Because yes, this is interesting from a psychological standpoint, but this is so much broader. This encompasses so much more. There's so much room for creativity. And now we go in with power imbalance. Okay, we're in the final round. Why can I not scroll? Hello? Okay. All right. Last round. Restriction of movement using ropes or other apparatuses or power imbalance. I feel like this one's pretty obvious, right? Because yes, restriction of movement is cool, hella interesting, but power imbalance is just the root of everything. It's so interesting, it's so fascinating to study. There's so much room for creativity. It's almost the broadest option on this entire list, if not the broadest. I feel like we have a winner. Hell yeah. There you have it. First place power imbalance, second place restriction of movement using ropes or other apparatuses. What a beautiful ranking. I'm satisfied with this outcome. Thank you for joining me on this journey where I rank chess openings. Let me know if you are also an enjoyer of chess, and let me know if you agree with my rankings, because I know that chess can be very controversial, and some people may disagree with my tactics. Some people may disagree with my philosophy. But hey, I said what I said, and I stand by it, alright? Okay. Make sure you're following my Twitch because I stream almost every single day. They call me the streamer. And make sure you take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself, okay? Okay. Bye, twin. Mwah.